All right, fellas. Tonight's going to be a great night. We got a collaboration. We got Drag Drive Repeat. We got Mike Narks on. We will have Chad Reynolds from Bang Shift / Rocky Mountain Race Week on as well. Over to this side, we've got Mr. The Man, Mr. Matt Frost. And tonight's going to be a cool one. We are doing dates and tracks for Mega Week. And if you, and hey, Josh, on the he's going to be on my podcast tomorrow. Tune into that. That's the drink, by the way. But yes, if you have not heard about Mega Week is 2 Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week happening all at the same time. Well, not the same time, but the same days. So we're going to kind of do the morning routine that you're used to seeing at Drag Week, at Midwest Drags, at a bunch of the events. They race in the mornings. We kind of flip the thing on its head, and we race, all of our events at night. There's tons of advantages to it, but we're going to do both at the same track. One's going to be 8 to noon. This next one is going to be noon till 10, and
7. Well, kind of. We'll figure that.
Yeah,
7
something like that.
7 to 2, and then 3 to 10.
Right. So anyway, it's going to be wild. It's going to be off the chain. The morning folks are going to get on the road. Everyone's like, well, what about hotels? Hotels are going to love us because we're going to sell out at the hotel one day, and then we're going to sell out the hotel the next day. The morning guys are going to get on the road. They'll be in their hotels that evening in the next location. Well, the evening people are racing and staying in the town of the racetrack typically. So that's how it's going to work. We're going to be on the same routes. We're going to party. It's going to be absolutely cool. But Matt, take it away. Tell us about Mega Week. Tell us about, class changes. I know you got some of that stuff coming up, and kick it off, my man.
Yeah. So, it's our 10th year anniversary, and I wanted to do something. Obviously, there's a lot of big things going on with Dragon Drive right now, and figured we'd step up our game. I've been thinking about this for a long time, just different ways of thinking about doing it, and this is probably our best route to do it. And so I said, why don't we do the biggest Dragon Drive in the history of Dragon Drive? And with how we have our culture of, we have our veteran status and stuff like that, people will be able to know how to make that work. You guys still with me?
Oh yeah,
we're here. I thought I'd put you up on the big screen.
I didn't know if you all disappeared. So
no, you're good to go. You're just keep doing your thing.
But anyways, so I thought, heck, this is going to be the way to do this. Is we can do an A group and a B group. And A group will be your Rocky Mountain Race Week group, and B group will be your Race Week group. And you guys will just basically run your own races the first 4 days, and then the last day we'll come together and do a huge shootout. And I think it's going to be awesome. I've heard a little bit of grumbling of, oh man, I don't know, it's going to be a crap shot, shit show, and I don't know if I want to come, and that kind of bums me out to hear that. So don't be that way. Come do it, because I've invested all my time in you guys for the last 10 years. This is your time to invest yourself in me, and I took a chance, and then you should take a chance with me. So come do this. It's going to be awesome. Something we are going to add for this one. This was BTR's recommendation, and I think they're going to get somewhere behind it, but we are going to do a tailgate class. I am adding that for this event, and it'll be a dial phone, because I think there's too many different variables on trucks on how fast they are. So you'll do your own, but we are going to add that this year.
Is a wagon gate a tailgate?
I would. It's a gate. So I mean, if we're going to say gate, then yeah, I think that falls in there.
Giddy up! I dig on that.
Right.
Well,
Chad right here.
There he is.
Sorry, boys. The link was not happy for me, and my computer freaked out, and so I had to power on and power off.
You're new here. I get it.
Yeah.
Your first time. It's your first day.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, wait. Are we talking about tailgate class?
Yeah,
sure. Tailgate class. Yes.
Yeah, I know a lot of people get angry and say they want truck only. But my argument to allow them, although I don't really have a dog in this fight, even though I'm the only guy here with a wagon, so I guess I do have a dog in this fight, is that my wagon, my wagon weighs, oh, nice.
A Honda Civic wagon, 4-wheel drive.
Ooh, nice.
We were just talking
about my wagon weighs more than most every truck that has ever competed at Rocky Mountain Race Week. So, so I'd say, yeah, it's got a tailgate, let her fly. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So, but yeah, so we're adding that, and then kind of go to back where we were at. You know, people are thinking. I think people are thinking about this a little bit differently. And Adam, you hit that kind of right. What they're like, well, they're looking at the overlay of things, like how it's gonna. Oh no, you know, there's gonna be so many people there. Well, here's the deal. If you're the A group, you're in the morning. A group never stays to the end usually, unless you're like the normal guys that are running back to back to back to try to do their, you know, the perfect average or whatever for their index class. The morning guys are usually split like before noon. Most of them are on the road and doing their thing. So you're gonna have a amount of people there, you know, towards the end of that, and then you go to your second group. A lot of them, especially when you get later on in the week, they don't even start running right away. They wait till later on in the evening to start getting after it. So there's going to be a lot of gap there. And I'm leaving a buffer, okay? So, you know, the first group's going to start at 7 in the morning, and so they'll run from 7 in the morning, and then they'll be done by 2, unless we have problems. I'm leaving an hour buffer. So you're done at 2, and then the second group starts at 3 to 10. So, and then also leave that buffer, that 11 o'clock buffer, like we always do. And you know, guys, I'm always good about trying to make sure we at least get 3 runs in. We'll make it work. We'll figure out how to make it work. We'll make sure that you know, all that happens, unless obviously we run into weather or something to that effect. But that buffer is going to help us with that if we need to run into a little bit more to keep you guys going. But realistically, this ought to work really well. And we've talked about how we're going to lay out the tracks. You know, there's going to be, obviously there's all kinds of things that we're still working on to get this going. But, you know, we're going to, like, at the tracks, we'll leave this side of the pits. On this side of the road is for the A group, and then on this side of the lane will be B group. So you're not all having to be way out in the North 40 if you're coming in as a second group. We're going to split those areas up a little bit to be able to make it so y'all can get in there and make that work. Obviously, y'all are going to have to work together to make it work, but that's kind of the whole point of this, is so that everybody can hang out together. At a certain point of it, you know, there's going to be a little bit of overlap that you guys can hang out together as 2 groups. And I think that's going to be really cool.
I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And just keep in mind, like, show up and have fun with your group. And that's going to be the best part. Like, you guys just party. You know, we're going to be coming in after you guys or before you guys. And, you know, same places that you guys are doing burnouts, we're going to be doing burnouts later on. It's going to be awesome. And then everyone's going to get a night of partying as well.
Yes.
So, you know, we'll have that built in right before the shootout, and the shootout's going to be huge, you guys. Everyone gets mixed into one big group, and it's going to be absolutely off the chain. I mean, theoretically, we could have 400 cars in one big bracket race, racing for $5,000.
Well, and I've been getting lots of questions over the last, you know, couple of months, honestly, but the last few weeks especially. People are asking about the logistics of it. That is their big concern, which cracks me up. And I'm not bagging on anybody, but I'm the guy that, like, doesn't worry about anything until you have a reason to worry about stuff. It's like, you know, I couldn't tell you what time of day I fly to SEMA, because that's in a week. And I don't know. I know I have a plane ticket. I don't have to know until the night before, right? I don't need to pay any attention to that.
Right. So someone's going to say, show up and go.
Right. So a lot of this stuff is like that. You need to just take a breath, people, and relax and know that that we understand what having 2 events in one day at the same racetrack requires, because we're dealing with the racetracks and everybody else, and because we're all drag and drive guys. Like, you know, we've all done these for a long time. So we're taking into account all those things. And so, like, seriously, stress over fixing your junk and getting ready to go and being ready and all those things. But don't stress about the logistics side of it, because the reality is, if you wanted to come in and if you were Group A, let's say, and on Tuesday of the event, you know, you're in Group A and you show up at the racetrack in the morning and you race, and then you leave at 10 o'clock in the morning, in your experience would be that there wasn't even another event happening. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other event being a part of what you're doing only applies if you want it to, right? Because if you don't want to have any interaction with group B and you're in group A, you don't have to. I mean, you literally would have minimal amount of interaction unless you want to. So just don't let that be a stressful thing for you. We'll get you squared away. There will be more organization than you probably expect from us because, like Matt says, some of the cordoning off of pit areas for specific groups, that's never been a thing we've done before, but we will do it now, obviously. So it will handle all that stuff, and you'll know it way far ahead for sure.
Yeah,
and
and
I've already started working on routes.
We've been preparing for this for longer than people realize in a certain sense.
Yeah.
Like, Ron and me have been talking about it and prepping. I've had Mark with me for several years, so he can kind of learn how things are going to be, because there's going to be points where, June's going to be left. I'm going to have to go ahead. And so there'll be things we've been having to work on, all of these logistics of how that's going to work to keep somebody in those places. Or, Mark will be there to, help, and his wife, Christy, or June will stay, and then I'm going to go ahead. Like, there's all these different logistics of this. You'll see us at both sides of it. Like, our face will be there for the A group, our face will be there for the B group, but we may not be there for the entire day. Just like with you guys, somebody asked about if, Adam's running the mic the whole time.
No.
There's going to be two run it for a while, and Adam's going to run it for a while. I'm sure there'll be an overlap where they're running it together at some point through the day. And, so, I mean, there's a lot of things that we have already thought about. The things that you guys are going to ask questions about that you're worried about, I promise you, we probably already thought about them.
Yeah, because you have to remember that we've been working on this event, realistically for 9 months. Yeah, 9 months.
Yep.
Already. So you guys didn't know about it that long, but 9 months ago was when Matt said, "I got a really crazy idea." I was like,
yeah.
Hell
yeah,
yes.
and for the folks that are asking, we're going to cover dates here in just a minute. We kind of wanted to get into the show for a minute and get everybody here and all that kind of stuff. So more than 200 folks are watching right now. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the comments, so keep them coming, y'all. Ask questions. I've highlighted a bunch we're going to cover here in just a few minutes.
And yes, I'm eating dinner. Stevie got me dinner. I'm starving. Deal with it.
What's the number one question you've had so far, Matt? What is the number one thing that people have brought up to you or whatever?
I think you didn't make it on here on time, but I've had a lot of, I don't think I'm going to go because I think this is just going to be a shit show. That was my biggest thing that I've heard. Oh. And I'm like, and it's not just like, I've heard that from a few people, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I put my whole life on hold and done this and put all that into this for you guys. And then the biggest thing that I want to put together, you're going to tell me, I don't know if I want to go because it's going to be kind of a crappy deal. Like, I'm like, wow. I was like, are you serious? So,
Yeah.
I think exactly. I think a lot of people are just they're worried about a change in the whole dynamic. But listen, I'm telling you, I really feel like this is going to be 2 events in one. Like, that's the way it's going to work. Right. And there's going to be an overlap of about 100 people that will be late leaving or early leaving. That'll be in one. But I'm writing an article now talking about this. But think about the normal route that we run. There's 250 cars. We're cruising along. By about the 50th car, people are paying attention. Now you're talking about a town that has 800 people in it. We're fixing to bring 1,000 people with 600 cool cars down through the middle of that thing all day long. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a good point you bring up too. And that's why I've already started, I'm not down to the nitty gritty on routes, but I'm already doing the high level stuff.
Yeah.
Matt and I've had a bunch of conversations about it. He and June are going to fly in. We're going to go do all the routes together. We're going to try and do these routes way earlier than normal so that we can prep some of these towns even better. And you can never, everybody always is like, oh, why didn't you tell Bob that, in this little town that we were coming through. It's like, who the hell is Bob? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I only know what locals tell you, kind of deal. I mean, we went to a checkpoint for race week where we were supposed to be getting our picture in front of a monster truck at a parts store. And the guys told me they would have 2 of them, and both of them were gone for the day. So, and it was no surprise. I spent a considerable amount of time and money buying parts from those guys on the day that we, cemented the deal. So
we can do this when we go do this together. We'll make flyers and we'll put them up in places like all the parts stores. We're going to make this, like, this is going to be huge, guys. Like, we're going to spend the time that we need to go through all these towns. I'm hoping, I'm trying really hard right now to have a vendor midway that's going to blow your socks off. I'm going to try to make sure, like, I'm working on everything. We're trying to do some stuff with fuel, like we've seen with some of the other places. I'm trying to have a transmission guy there to rebuild transmissions. I want to see about getting rear end people there. Summit's come on board. They're going to bring their truck. I'm hoping that we can see some of our other, big sponsors come in.
Yeah.
This is going to be there to help with, like, I'm working on everything. Like, I want this to be one of those deals where this is like massive. Like, I wanted to see it basically be when you go to an NHRA event and you can walk through the vendors midway. I mean, it may not be obviously that big, but that's what we're pushing for. We're trying to make this so.
But people walk around with bags full of cool shit from race week and their shirts in there and everything. I agree. And if you've never been on a drag and drive, if you've been one of those guys going, you can never get in, it's rigged, it's bullshit, this is your year. We're not going to let very many people run both, and we normally have people that run both. So a handful of people that are total idiots are going to be able to run both. But there's going to be a bunch of open spots.
We'll go ahead and open that. Actually, there's only right now, unless I decide to let any more in, there's only 4 options to do that. 2 of them will be the ones that got given away. Jason Hurley could do it if he wants to. I think that would be crazy for him to try to pull off. But if he wants to, he won that spot, so he's able to do that. Brent Coddington won the other one, so if he doesn't want his spot and he sells that to somebody, they are also, whoever has that spot is eligible to run both groups. And then the other 2 people are Vince Rui, because he has been to every one of my events.
He's sponsored every one.
Richard Thorpe has been to every one of our events. So those 2 guys right there are going to be able to do both.
Jason Hurley just put up a
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell him that part.
I'll tell you, well, I don't want to say this because it'll start a shitstorm, but Matt and I will talk about something in a minute. But Matt, hit me up on the rear end guy, because I've got one here in Texas who will want to potentially be a sponsor and come help with that. So yeah, I'm going to start volunteering him before I've even spoke to him, but I'm pretty sure he'd want to be involved. So yeah. Okay. The comments are making me laugh. Yeah, no doubt. Steve McDermott talking about the NHRA NS vendor midway. NHRA doesn't have good midways anymore. They've gotten rid of them because nobody wants to go there. But we want it to be exciting and fun and all those things. I will tell you that the plan is, they don't know this yet, but the plan is that my little vintage RV trailer is going to get a makeover for Mega Week so that Mom and Dad can pull it along, and it will be the Wicked Chick trailer and ice cream trailer. So yeah, so we're going to work on that. That should be cool. With any luck, in a slammed square body Suburban to pull it with, we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be cool.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's jump into some of the questions from earlier. Aaron Roberts asked early on, is A and B group going to have a switch day to night racing and vice versa?
You know what? I thought about it a lot, and I really wanted to do it, but I just don't think that that's going to be fair to whoever has the switch. It's going to put a burden on them to try to get there in less time. So I think we're just going to keep it A and B group. I don't think we're going to do that. The switch would have been after day two of racing, which would have been fine. But I just think that it might throw a wrench in people's plans of trying to get themselves to the other track. It'll lose them time that way.
Yep, I agree completely. So, and then William Hogan asked earlier, so how will this be split up? Each class or certain classes in each group? I think this is
two events.
Yeah,
There's going to be the same
Yeah.
classes in both events. So
Yeah.
but
there's
for the shootout, everything joins.
and a stick
Yeah,
class
but that's last day. Yeah.
then, right.
Yeah.
Then you get into the shootout, and then everyone gets melded together. Except now it's double. Instead of the FAF 8, it's FAF 16. Instead of the BMF 8, it's BMF 16. Instead of the Quick 16, it's the Quick 32. So we have, instead of bringing 32 quickest cars, we're bringing our 64 quickest cars into that shootout. On top of that, we'll still have the rowdy. Those people will meld together. So they'll race for one, deal. We'll have the exhibition class. So people who broke out of both events can show up and run that deal. So that's going to be cool. And then again, that big ass bracket race.
That's going to be crazy. Rich Keogh did make a comment. First to leave of Group A has 400 plus people to bring you parts. That's
the other part of that, though, is we will wipe out every town of every bit of parts that they have left that we, could buy.
So maybe Rich Guido is the smartest guy in the planet because there's not going to be people hoarding Pontiac bullshit. Yeah. So he just needs to find the one Pontiac guy, and he'll be in good shape.
Right.
An A group. So for somebody that's worried about that, A group would be Rocky Mountain Race Week. So that's going to be your morning group. Race Week will be your night group. That's how I'm going to lay it out. It's separate, guys. So all of your average stuff, all of your A group, B group, besides the shootout, it's two different deals. The trophies are different. The payouts are different. It's all what you normally are used to. Nothing's changing there. The only thing that's changing for you guys is at the end, like Adam said, it's all of y'all coming together for the shootout. But as far as A group, B group, everything's paid the same. It's divided. What I might try to do, just depending on what we do with sponsors, how well that happens, and we've had some actually really good movement on that, is I probably will, if I can get it squared away, I want to do more payout for the bracket race, because that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people who put their time into this, and they don't get that big payout. So if I can make that work somehow, I'm going to try to up that to make that worthwhile. And the other thing is, I haven't decided yet. But I think what we might do is with those big payouts like that, we'll figure out how to do it to where maybe we do first and second place payout instead of it all just going to one. I think that would help out a little bit too. So
yeah, Tyler, yes, this would be your great one for your first.
Yeah, well, it is. It really doesn't matter. It's no different than any of the others, honestly.
Tyler actually needs to reach out and get himself a sponsor packet. He's with Schultz Insurance, and he's been doing a bunch of drag and drive dudes insurance stuff. So he should probably be reaching out and be on that sponsor deal, by the way.
Yeah. The other thing somebody asked about Go Hira says fuel could be a problem on the drives. Fuel won't be a problem on the drives.
It'll be all right.
600 cars is nothing for a normal gas station, so that's not an issue.
We do clean places out of E85, but I mean, the time that we're spending in these towns going and looking at this stuff or whatever, we'll just stop. They probably won't remember by the time it's time, but we'll do our part and try to be like, hey, listen, you're gonna have an abundant amount of cars coming in for E85 at this time, and whatever. I mean, you guys also have to just remember too that you are having a hard time getting E85 at this point anyway, so have some of your road weakers carry it for you. Because I mean, it's if you don't have a flex fuel sensor in your car already, you probably should put one in there, because we're getting to the point where it's just starting to become a huge problem to try to find it anyways.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I keep selling this to everybody. If you don't put an 87 octane gasoline tune in your ride, you're an idiot. You're just doing it wrong. I'm sorry. This is drag and drive. The fastest cars on the planet that do drag and drives run down the road on 87 octane. That's what they run on. They may run on methanol when they're at the racetrack. They run on 87 octane going down the road. Call me a liar. It's the truth. So just sack up and put a tune in it for 87. Because I'm sorry, but E85 also in the middle of the country is junk anyway. So who cares? Just put pump gas in it and go.
cheapest pump gas I can in my car. I don't care what it is. I don't look to see what number it is. Just put it, whatever the cheapest is, it runs just fine on that. But I'd like to brag about something, though, that I did the other day. I did drive my car at an event the other day in full race mode on alcohol with the 3,000 horsepower tune-up in the car on a 140 Pro Charger, which not very many people have done that, and it was really awesome.
Hell yes.
Yeah, you think?
Hell
I love
yes.
it.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's lay these dates out real quick. Ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, so your first day is going to be May 31st. And what that is that's going to be day 0, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start tech at 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's going to be, so I'll reiterate this, A group, we'll call it A group, is going to be Rocky Mountain Race Week. B group is going to be Race Week. There's going to be 4 lanes. A group is going to get express lane and normal tech. B group is going to get express lane and normal tech. It's going to be split into 2 rows because you guys, A group's going to have different colored bands on their car than B group is. It's all the stuff's going to be separated so we know who's who. It'll go just like it normally does. We'll have guys pushing you guys through. It'll go fast. We're going to run that from 8 o'clock till 3 in the afternoon. You have to make sure that you're there because at 2:30, we will have to shut down and we'll do a little bit of cleanup at the end. 2:30, we're going to do our driver's meeting. We're going to do our driver's meeting on day 0, so we're not taking any time away from it on day 1. So you will have to be there for the driver's meeting. If not, you need to let us know. If you're not going to make it by that 3 o'clock shutdown because something broke, your trailer or whatever, I don't want it to be one of these deals where I got 20 to 30 people coming in at the last minute just because they can. You need to be in the lanes between 8 and 3 o'clock to try to get this done. We need to be able to, that's a long day for us, a lot of cars to get through. So you need to make sure you're there. At 2:30, we'll have a driver's meeting. And as soon as we get done with the driver's meeting, test and tune will open and we'll run test and tune basically from 2:30 till 8 o'clock that evening. So you guys
that's
will have
for both groups.
That's for both groups. Yep. So that'll be till 3. And then, so that's your first day. That's at Tulsa Raceway is where we're starting. On day 1, day 0 is Tulsa. Day 1 is going to be Tulsa, and your A group is going to start from 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to run until 2 o'clock in the afternoon with an hour buffer in case we have any problems. B group will be from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night with the hour buffer, just like we always do. Okay, and then from there, so that's the June 1st on a Sunday, and then Monday, June 2nd, we're going to Flying H, which we've never been there. That is going to be super cool.
You're welcome, Red Hat Scotty.
He'll be able to stay at home. He won't know what to do.
Oh, and real quick, William Hogan, if you have veteran status from Rocky Mountain Race Week, you will sign up to early for the A group. If you have veteran status to Race Week, you'll sign up early to B group. Or you can just do open sign up if you want to throw it out there to do that if you want to change.
Or if you have veteran status for both, you can choose which one you want to do.
Choose which one you want to do if you have veteran status for both. Exactly. Sorry to interrupt, but that was an important point.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay, so that's Flying H, same schedule. A group 7 to 2, B group 3 to 10. And then you'll have then Tuesday will be the 3rd of June. That'll be our drive day. Wednesday, the 4th day, June 4th. Or I'm sorry, not the 4th day. Yeah, I guess it is. But actually it's day 3. It will be Noble. We're doing Noble in Oklahoma there. What is that? What is that town? It's Noble.
Thunder Valley.
Thunder Valley.
Yeah.
June 4th will be at Thunder Valley. That's the only one that I feel like is going to be a little bit tight. They've got plenty of room. There's plenty of all the way back. So but there's not that much room on the concrete. So you're just going to have to deal with it. It's a little bit tight coming in and out of there. We thought about kind of leaving you guys where you have to come in at a certain time or whatever, and we're not going to mess with that. You're just going to come in. We're going to just like we talked about. We'll split the lanes. One side's one side's the other, and you have all the way back through there. We can make it work. There might be a little bit of congestion when you're getting up in there towards the front or whatever, but we'll work that out. And then from there, So same thing. The schedule's the same. So the schedule is the same for all of these days. And then 7 to 2, and then 3 to 10. And then you've got, from there, we're going to go to Ennis on the 5th of June. Same schedule. A group's going to be 7 to 10, 7 to 2, and B group will be from 3 to 10. And then from there, instead of having a drive day, so what we're going to do is on Thursday is your last day. That's when you lock in your average. And then you're going to drive back to Tulsa. And then Friday, you'll have all the way till Friday afternoon. Tentatively, the party should start about 4 o'clock, I think is what we're planning. So what we're going to do is, and I'm still working on all this, so, things could change. But what my goal is to do is Friday to do feed you guys all, have a big deal where we can feed you. We've got some stuff in works for that. I'm hoping that we can get a band in there. We can afford to do all that, but I want to do a band in the evening after we're done with our awards. But I'll do basically stage the car type deal like we've been doing. I'll do that as you come in, because obviously you have to seal in that and make it back to do your award. We'll go in and do all of our awards for both classes or both A and B groups on Friday and just have a big party. It's just going to be just a hangout. Everybody hangs out, have fun, eat, listen to the band, after the awards and stuff like that. And then we'll have Saturday, which is the 7th, and that's going to be our shootout. That'll be our big shootout day, and we'll start that. Still trying to think about what that is. We'll probably start at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll just run until we're done. And then go ahead.
The plan was to run a bunch of rounds of bracket cars early. So we're going to run those until we get down to a reasonable amount of cars, because we're going to start with, theoretically up to 400. So the heads up guys, we will already know who those folks are. And we'll do chip draws at the party as well, right? For all of that, like that's going to be all set night before. So we'll have that set ready to go, no problem. You guys will have a start time of it's not going to be in concrete, but say noon, something like that. And we'll start running those classes as well.
And I've got tons of giveaway stuff to give away. I thought about maybe doing it through the week, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna do. We'll probably do the giveaway stuff at the actual party, and then that's when you can give us your raffle ticket or whatever, because I think it's very important that you should be there for that stuff. There's a lot of times that people drive away, go home, or do whatever, and we're calling, and it's just like even with some of the awards, they're not there. So all the stuff that's the giveaway stuff, you have to be present on the night of the party for that. And then we'll do our big shootout, and then we'll do our payouts and our big trophies and stuff like that for the end of that after the shootout.
Yep. And Dan, so I don't have the dates sitting in front of me, but June, the first night at Tulsa, no passes. We're just going to do a break the beams deal, and we're going to party. That's the whole plan there. And we'll have the drivers meeting for the next day. We'll do all the chip draws. It's going to be loose. It's going to be fun. And we're also doing all of the classes there as well, right? On that night.
Yes. Yes.
Also, all the awards from the classes are going to be done, and
yes.
So yeah. And then when we go into the shootout, it's going to be all shootout all the time. We'll do awards after that as well, but those are going to be strictly shootout awards.
That's correct. Yep. Yep. And then with all that. We've talked about this, and I haven't talked about it a lot lately, but I'm here after we get done with this. The Gasser deal, I really want to try to blow the Gasser deal up for this event. Obviously we will need quite a bit more for A and B group, but I'm going to leave a allotted amount, up to 15 cars per AB group for Gassers. Do not have to sign up with the normal. Obviously if you already got veteran status, then that is what it is, but if you call me and say, hey, I've got a car and it meets the criteria, which, I'll get those rules out right away so y'all know, but I really would like to see that happen, get that blowed up. And then I'm really pushing, I've been making a lot of phone calls with some of our OG fast guys to make an appearance and come back. So I think we'll be pretty cool to see some of those guys. And some of them have committed. Some of them are still waiting for cars to be built, but I think you'll be surprised on who shows up for this event.
I think it's going to be sweet as hell.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see that many. That Gasser class it's going to be legit this year. That's going to be so badass.
And there are so many people that are working on gassers right now. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool. I actually, you'll laugh at that. I consulted with a guy yesterday who wants to run a car in regular class and gasser class. And I'm helping him design a front suspension that would allow him to do that. That literally would make the car be look like a 70s street machine, and then look like a damn gasser, literally in a 10-minute turnaround in the pits, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
He wants to double enter. Do what?
Air involved on that one? Must be air ride involved in that.
There's a air option or a hydraulic option, but there is a manual option as well.
Hydros,
So
baby.
I have a manual way to do it that's pretty simple and clean. So we'll see. It depends on how
There's
much
a good question here from Boo Kvasmo. Yes, they are. It's going to be A versus B. It's going to be everyone mixed together. So you may have missed that earlier. It's going to be the FAF is going to be 16 cars, so it's all going to be double. The BMF is also going to be 16 cars, and then the quick 16 is going to move to 32. So instead of having the quickest 32 cars, it's going to be the quickest 64 cars in the shootout for all the big money, and all the payouts are double as well in all of those. So it's going to be gangster. It's going to be absolutely off the chain.
Yeah, this will ruin you if this is going to be your first one.
You're ruined on all of these, but you're going to be like extra super ruined on this one.
Think of all the cool people you're going to hang out with that week. And just for Cody here, May 31st through June 7th.
Including May 31st is a tech day. So that's day 0. So no racing on that. And test and tune, correct. Okay. Yep.
And test and tune, test and tune will be an additional cost. You'll have to pay that day. I'm not going to add that in anything. We probably do need to talk about that a little bit. So if the fastest cars are from A group or 15, 16, based off ET, it's just based off.
It's based off single pass, not. I'm not really understanding what you're asking, but it's based off a single pass.
Yeah, I think he's just wanting to make sure there's not like 8 that are going to come from the fastest 8 of B group and the fastest.
No. It's totally we could take all from one. All 16 can come from one. So, yeah. Bear with me a second. I'm buying a car. I'm going to mute myself.
Right. Okay. So what I was going back to is so the test and tune day, you'll pay your test and tune fee separate from this. It is going to be to buy into this year is going to be more. It's going to be $525. That's what it's going to cost you to enter the event. And then road weekers, it'll be a little bit more, but not a lot there. So that's just obviously to cover, quite a bit of the cost that we've got going on with this deal. And then here's what we're going to do for sign up, just so you know. Everybody's moving their sign up days earlier and earlier. They're trying to get that money faster. With as many events that got on this year and as many people have done it, I don't want to do that to you. I'm not trying to do it this year, so we're going to still continue to keep doing it the following. We'll move it up a little bit just because it's kind of a weird deal how we're doing this, and it's earlier. January is going to be your signups, and your signups is going to be, bear with me here, let me see where I wrote it down. January 10th and 11th will be Rocky Mountain Race Week. So the 10th will be your veterans, and then the 11th will be your normal public one. And then what's the next? 17th. And the 17th to 18th of January, so the following weekend, will be yours for Rocky Mountain 2.0 group. And if you're a new person, you get to. Yeah, so new people, if you're new, when you go to the public deal, you'll get a chance at both. If you didn't get into 1.0, you go ahead and still put your name on that waiting list. I would do that anyways, and then you can go the following week and try to get on that public list there and put yourself on that waiting list too, because you never know.
Absolutely. If you have the option, folks, you need to be on the wait list for either one, because that way, whichever one comes up in first, or hey, if you got in for both, you choose which one you want to be in, so yeah.
And then Aaron, I believe that we've done that. I think you can do that. He's asking if Rowdy if he's a rowdy guy, can he swap tires and stretch my car's legs in the FAF 16 or BMF 16, depending on the converted 8th mile time. I'll converse with Adam when he gets back, but I'm pretty sure that we are okay with that. I think the only thing that I wonder about that though is that would mean that you'd have to go back to your trailer to get your tires, and unless you have them with you with your car. So that's something we probably need to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we there are a lot of people that had not paid attention to the fact that the configuration that you had to run your car in for your average is not the configuration you have to run in for the shootout. So, namely, those folks running NA small block and big block who didn't pay any attention and didn't put a kit on their junk for the final day. If you have an NA combo and you don't put a kit on it for the final day, it'll be the second time of the podcast I'm calling you an idiot, but you're an idiot. If you don't have your car set up for a kit, regardless of what it is, you're doing it wrong in my world. In my world, everything gets nitrous. No matter what other power adder you have to have nitrous.
Yes, 2.0 B group, yes.
Yes.
And then this is a great question. You're talking about 2026. Obviously, that's in the future, but
well, and I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. We may, it could actually catch people off guard. There might be some, tears and some beers, because what we may end up doing, I haven't decided how I want to do that yet. I don't know if I could just overflow it next year so we can get everybody back to where they belong, or this year doesn't actually count as veteran status and you're locked into your veteran status from this year to 2026.
Yeah. That would make sense too. I like that idea too. And then, hey, we got somebody else watching from Australia. I saw Dave Curtis in here yesterday with Central Victorian Drag and Drive. Josh Reich said he stayed on baby tires. Man, I can't believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Watching that, I can't. I mean, it was amazing to see that he pulled that off the way he did on still being on the small tire. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, that truck's super impressive. Sharon says January 18th is her birthday.
So well, there you go.
Yeah, hey, yeah. Right.
Well, then when you get your response back, because you made it in, you'll get a happy birthday message.
No, that's right. Well, Keith Fox, camping is definitely highly encouraged.
And what we'll do is I'm going to do just like I did this year. I don't have them out ready yet, but I'll post it out just like I did. What fuels are each track, which tracks will let you camp, which ones has the bathroom, which radio station. I think that was helpful this year to put that out there so everybody had that information. We'll do that at every track again.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Included in all of the route instructions as well. So if you miss that somehow in a post, we will do that again as well. So,
yeah.
Dad, yes, you are only allowed for 2.0. If you were a 2.0 person, then 2.0 is the only B group is your group. You don't get to switch.
Yeah. Now you can if you get in on the registration for A, but yeah, for veteran registration, yes, you would be B would be your only one. And then obviously if they made registration their veteran status, right?
Yep, all they got to do. I may change this here in the future, but as of right now, if you showed up and you made it an effort, then yes, you have veteran status. I may do something to where it's something. It's starting to become a problem. So what I might change as we go forward is you actually have to turn your first time ticket in to the girls to be able to keep that veteran status. So. It is what they have to do now.
At least make it pass.
You have to turn your one-time slip in now. So I guess that's already in place.
Okay, cool. Trying to look here. Yeah. Chad and Rob back and forth about who needs a kid. He said just add 10% nitro and nitrous, brother. Let's go, man.
Hello.
Yeah.
Again.
Charles Goodman asking if motorcycles will be broken up into two groups. I mean, yeah, of course, like again, two separate events. That's probably the easiest way to look at this. It's like two events running back to back.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'll tell you on bikes. If we don't get enough bikes to split it up, then we'll do this. You all will have to commit to it, but all of you have to run A group and B group. If we don't get, let's say we don't get more than 4 bikes, then you guys can run both groups, but you have to commit as a group.
I see Robert Voss in here. He is going to be the camp counselor for the circuit. So we've actually he is going to be the guy at the track that's going to set up a campfire and some chairs and all that kind of fun stuff for folks for the campers.
So is he not
is that happening at Mega Week? Because that's Matt and I've actually had that discussion. Yeah.
He would have to not bring his car though, because I'm pretty sure that takes all of his attention.
Yeah. He's not racing at the circuit.
I had somebody in mind that would be a good camp counselor as well, and so I think it's a great idea though. I love it. I love that he's doing that. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun.
Robert says I am racing Mega Week. So there you go.
Yeah. Sorry, I've slowed down on comments here. Let's get back to Proline on order yet. A lot of folks here to Nitro. Don't tempt me with a good time. Steve McDermott, Chris Story in here saying howdy.
Hello,
Hello,
Mr. Story. Pat Cook says they'd double. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. As long as they all agree to it, if there's not enough, then for sure. RV camping in Tulsa, yes. RV camp, nothing's changed. The same as we normally do. You can camp at the track when you're there. If your vehicle's there, just obviously your car or your truck or your bike can't be parked next to your camper. You can still camp in your camper as usual.
Yep.
And guys, I put my email address in the comments. It's super easy. It's just chat@bangshift.com. So now that you know where we're going, if you have suggestions for, checkpoints, if you have a shop that you want us to stop at, anything that you go, hey, restaurants, checkpoints, whatever, any of that kind of cool stuff, or organizations that we should reach out to, like the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts or what have you. I will tell you, I was disappointed because I reached out to 2 Boy Scout groups and 2 Girl Scout groups for race week, and neither one of them.
Oh,
you froze up, Chad.
as he said,
all 4 of them. What happened? I didn't do it.
Yeah, you froze up as you said. Neither one of them.
Yeah, so none of the Girl Scouts or Boy Scout groups wanted to participate by doing a hot dog sale or some kind of fundraiser or whatever and for race week. And it was really disappointing because they were all groups that we had seen while driving that were doing car washes and this kind of junk. And that's way more work for the money than if they were selling hot dogs to a bunch of fat race car guys. So
if there's somebody that's crazy enough, some business that would like to support this deal and entertain 1,000 cars coming through their facility, we're more than happy to entertain that and stop there. So
absolutely, yes. So please email me, chat@bangshift.com, and we'll start putting together a list.
Very good.
Tom Bagley says, let's not go to the bar that banned us on one point. Yeah. Trust me, they learned their lesson. Plenty good. All of the nasty comments were enough. They called me and asked me, please, God, stop this.
Please leave us alone, please.
Yeah.
Boo, yes, there is an exhibition class.
Yep. And then if there's anybody that's, we finally got our sponsor package together. So if there's anybody that wants to be a sponsor, get a hold of June. If you can't get a hold of her, get a hold of me and I'll direct you to June and she'll get it sent off to you. That's all ready to go and ready to go out the door. So
this right here, this would be a little bit out of the way probably, but would be fun. There's enough opportunity, I think, in there somewhere to hit some 66 for sure.
We hit a ton of 66. We always do. Every time leaving Tulsa, we're on 66 the entire way. So this we're in like the scenic, beautiful, all the cool parts of 66, and we have every year. But yeah, I'll look for sure at that up there in the corner because we did go through there and hit part of it, but I'll see if we can hit more of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably a better route to hit Tulsa, to hit that part on your way from Tulsa to Flying H than Flying H to OKC.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Agreed.
whatever.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah.
one of the hardest jobs I can only imagine.
Oh, I hate it. But yes, it's awesome, but it sucks. It's all the things, The 918 Motorsports, I can hold 15 cars. We'll be right there.
Bro, we're on the way. We're bringing 300.
It'll be perfect. It'll be fine.
It'll be 15 at a time. I promise. It'll just be all day.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We need to go to this bar while we're in Tulsa. There's great stories and things that come out of that place. I just know.
Sold.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah.
We'll give Matt a margarita and he'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, holy crap. If we, yeah, one of those will do it.
Just so you guys know, Matt doesn't drink like ever. But in Monroe, Louisiana, that boy had a margarita and, or it was a daiquiri, whatever. But
yeah, that track doesn't mess around. They put some alcohol in their stuff, or maybe it just was alcohol. I don't know.
Both, but it was awesome, my friend. God, it made me laugh like a little girl. That was awesome.
Steve, I don't know how many are on or near the route, but we're gonna find them. We're gonna find at least one a day.
We actually go ahead, Matt.
Because he's talking about it. Michael's actually going to help us with some of this stuff for this event because it is so big. So that's why he's saying we will find them because he will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna Waffle Houses. You just I'll handle that. I'll handle all the Waffle Houses when we can be a part of.
Well, and I am I didn't even talk to Matt about this, but Neil, my partner in crime on the live stream, had a great idea while we were doing the drive this year about setting up sort of a scavenger hunt kind of deal. Because there are like $855 million generals as we did the route this year. It was like more of them than anything else. And so we've already been talking about it, and we'd like to put together sort of a, like I said, a scavenger hunt just for fun. And something that the kids can be involved in and stuff too, which will be kind of neat. So we'll look for stuff like that. So if there are things that, maybe aren't a good checkpoint, but would be good for a scavenger hunt item as well, email those to me too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Doug DeLay here saying 1,232 mile without the stops. That's why the interstate, I bet this thing is 1,400 miles.
Yeah, it's going to be a haul because that's just straight to be. I mean, it ain't going to be easy, but that's never has been. So
no, and it's I laughed because the people that were like, oh my God, Tulsa to Ennis. I'm like, if you know a way to get from there to there quicker. I mean, I've lived here for a jillion years and I can tell you that like the map, it don't get any shorter no matter what road you take. It's still that far from Tulsa to Ennis. And it is what it is. So, we try not to kill you guys and send you on, something that's a little enjoyable if it's not 8 million degrees. But, hey, it is what it is. You got to drive them.
Well, we're no strangers. I mean, anybody that's ever done, the Rocky Mountain Race Week deal, that's easily one day, 420 to 430 miles. And we do that. And then the other leg of it can be even close to that too. So 1,320 miles. So, even if you're doing 1,400 at this, it's not really that much different. And, that's just the difference between what we do. You get the miles. I mean, I'm hoping really with the way that it laid out that we're early enough in the season that the weather will be decent for us. We won't have a lot of heat. Just cross our fingers that we don't get any, the rain and stuff is the only thing that worries me because it's that early, but I don't think that that's necessarily normal. From what I've looked at, everything that we looked at, it didn't seem like Michael looked at it for me and I looked at it. It doesn't seem like that's a norm for it to be super rainy. We may end up with a rainy day, maybe possible, but I'm just hoping that everything works out and God will be in our favor and we'll have a really good week.
Yeah. Now the scavenger hunt, like Aaron Roberts is talking about here. Yes, we got it. I mean, listen, if you put that out in the world, I'll help any way I can with that. I love it.
Awesome.
It's one of the best things that we ever did with the circuit. And Aaron and Danny, so Aaron and Brandy, and then Danny and Josh Odom destroyed it last year. They actually got the same amount of points, but were almost double of anyone else.
Right.
So highly
I love
competitive, 2 teams and tied. It was pretty cool.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think it'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
TJ talking about the fact that he's an astronomy junkie. And so full moon last year, on race week was pretty awesome. It was cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat Cook, we should hit 1,320 miles easy.
Yeah. Not a problem. If we could do it exactly 1,320 miles, that'd be amazing. There's no shot. I'm 100% sure that there is no way to do that and not be on the interstate the whole time. So, somebody mentioned something about Ennis to Baton Rouge, which was a long drive, but I have to say I enjoyed that ride. Like the road was good, everything. I mean, it was nice.
The scenic area, all the little bridges we went over and all that was way cool.
Yeah. And I mean, it was, it was 450 miles or whatever it was that day. But God, the number one complaint from people was actually just the first like 25 or 35 miles, whatever it was that we were on the interstate. People were like, God, the interstate sucks. Like, I know, but there's no way to get that first hump. We needed to get over it and get to the good road, So yeah, it was fun. But the one other one that I wanted to mention today, the candy stop that we did, Russell Stover's was one of our stops, on race week. And those people were unbelievably awesome to us. Went way above and beyond, for a stop. So again, if you know somebody that has a cool business that wants to be involved and wants to be a fun stop, whether it's a restaurant or a bakery or a candy shop or a auto shop or whatever, we want to come where people want us to be. And those are always the best stops. So definitely let us know.
Yeah.
So do you own a wagon now?
I do.
Yay.
That's exciting.
I'm wagon full. And,
nice.
I was trying to figure out Zelle. Apparently I could only send $1,000 in Zelle. So I was like, well, that's okay. But I took care of the rest, which is still a very meager amount through Venmo. So we're set. Life is good. And shout out to Nick Ball, Race Weeker. He's there picking it up for me. And he's going to store it for me till I come down for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So,
cool.
Where is it at?
It's in Loveland, Colorado.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Right next to Matt.
Very much next to Matt. But those turn into drag race cars. People chop them all into pieces and drag race them. So this guy was excited to sell it to someone that wasn't going to take it apart and give it to the Boosted Boys.
Right. Saved it from them.
Yep, exactly.
Corey Wells, 525 is what sign up will be. He was asking.
525 for sign up. Ed Hohenberg, veteran status only counts for a previous year. Yes, correct. 5 years ago isn't going to count. However, like we were talking earlier, this is going to be your event. If you've been out of the game for a little while, there'll be some open spots for sure. So if you want to come back, Mega Week's the time to come back. And I know you got some cool stuff, so it's time.
Yeah.
While we're at break, I'll kind of go over a couple of our sponsors that are going to be giving away some pretty cool stuff. Crowler will be giving away 2 cam kits. I'm still working on getting a bunch of this stuff too. Circle D, there'll be 2 gift cards from them.
Cool.
Force Performance is going to give away 2 turbos. Now, when I say 2, that'll be A and B group. And then you have Nitrous Outlets will be giving away 2 nitrous kits. And I'm going to keep working on that stuff, more and more of that kind of stuff to make sure that we can give that stuff away. So if you got anybody out there that you think interested in doing that kind of stuff, let me know too. But and then Summit's going to be doing a bunch of giveaway stuff. So they'll have their truck there. I'm still talking with Nick to see about if those guys are going to come with their deal. Obviously, Brian Tooley will be there like they normally are. I'm sure they'll have some stuff they'll give away. This is just going to be really cool, guys. I think the Midway, just the whole atmosphere of this thing is going to be super fun. And don't let, like I said before, don't let the chaos of what it is the amount of stuff that's going on scare you away from this. Be part of something that's really cool. Like this, it will. Like this, nobody has done this yet. This will be the biggest drag and drive in the history of drag and drive. You're talking about if you think about that, the overlap on that, I mean, if we say we, with our sponsors and everything and sign up, and you get 300 cars in each, that's 600. And then say you do even if you just do 100 road weekers, you know, that's 700 cars rolling around times 2 people on the cars. I mean, that's an amazing feat to have that many people out there running around, and it is going to be awesome. So
Hell
I think it's
I mean, if you think about it too, it's just, yeah, whatever, man. This community is going to be amazing. This thing's going to be absolutely out the chain. The people that need to worry about this stuff are the 4 people that are in this. You guys just need to worry about having your crap there, show up and have fun, guys. And on top of that, it's the 10-year anniversary. So like big ups to this dude for not pulling the plug after I do the easy thing would have been to pull the plug on this a long time ago. So thanks for being stupid with the rest of us and doing this.
Yeah.
Thanks for not listening to anybody.
Right.
It's been an interesting road. Like, we love it. You know, I mean, the people that we've got to meet, the stuff, and don't get me wrong, there's been some hard times. I mean, even this last year was a little bit of a struggle with the heat and everything, like no spectators and stuff like that. Like, there was a lot. I mean, it was a lot on us, and it was a little bit tough, but we come back every year and do it because you guys, because of the people we work with, you know, all you guys that we're talking to, you know, and Ron and Brian and like all the people at the tracks or whatever, and just you people that we get to interact with every year that are there. I mean, it's so awesome to see what you guys do and to be a part of that. And yeah, this one's going to be for us. This is our way of trying to, you know, just do something big. And, you know, it's going to be cool because you're going to have anniversary shirts. We'll still have our 2 shirts for each class. Like I'm hoping that this blows up to where we get so many spectators. I mean, obviously, you know, we want to be able to, the more that we can do and the more that we can put back into this, you know, into our pocket or whatever, it helps us. And so, you know, normally I don't talk about the financial side of that we need, but this is my time. This is our time to put a little bit of money away, because what that does is that also helps us. You know, if you're watching this and you don't know, like, we do sponsor other races. Like, I take some of our money that we make off of this and I help with Steel City, which is other street stuff here in Colorado. I help the Havlicks with, you know, the fastest streetcar deal. You know, and there's other things that what we do with this race actually helps other races as well.
Mm-hmm. The Steel City stuff. I mean, you put your money where your mouth is. So if you race with us, I mean, Matt's he's putting his money back in the community. Pay attention to folks that are doing that. That's a big ass deal.
And it's important. Like, and that's the sponsor side of it. Like, when you sponsor this, you're not only just sponsoring this, you're sponsoring other races that, you know, and if you're in the automotive industry, I think right now, and you're not paying attention to what's going on with this, and you're not, you know, putting a little bit of your money back into these Dragon Drives, then you're wrong in a sense. And I'm not trying to bag on nobody, but this is carrying a lot of what's going on in the country right now. Dragon Drive as a whole, you know, that's where they're spending their money. They're spending their money, and if you're not putting a little bit of your money back into your racers, then you're not doing it right.
And you know what? Speaking of that, I want to brag on Matt here for a minute. Those of you that are watching that know our friend Krusty Ramsey and his lovely wife Meg know that Krusty has been fighting cancer for several years now. And you know, they own a body shop, and it's just the 2 of them, and they have been, you know, keeping it alive and doing what they do, and it's been awesome. But they recently got some news that the treatment's just not working the way that they really needed it to, and so they're pivoting and they're going to do some other stuff. But that means that their car stuff is definitely on hold for the foreseeable future. But Matt donated 4 entries, 2 Rocky Mountain Race Week or Race Week entries for Mega Week, and 2 Road Week entries. And did a big raffle. And we raised $16,000. Is that right, Matt?
$16,800 is what we raised. Yeah.
And a couple of dudes just threw money in. Like, I don't even need a number. Like, just here's money. Like, put it to the cows.
Yeah, I can't afford to do more than 1 ticket. They were $150. I did a ticket but I was hoping I'd win it so we could auction it again, or raffle it again, or do an auction or something like. Let's just keep it rolling, right? And we take care of our own community, and that comes from all of us, everybody that's here on the screen. But Matt stepped up. That's a real deal, and everybody else stepped up to help.
And that's
which
the
is really
second
awesome.
time that Race Week's done that for Krusty, and that's like big up to all the Race Week people. Matt facilitates it and he gets the idea, but like you guys are the guys, and you gals are the gals. Like that's badass.
And Krusty and Meg are really quiet, so they won't come out in public and say much about it. But I can tell you from my experience when Daphne was sick. There were 2 events that were held. Well, one event and a GoFundMe for us that was truly life-changing. Like if we hadn't had that, it would have been a completely different thing for us. So this amount of money matters to them more than they'll ever even be able to explain. Like seriously,
it goes a long way. They were just beside themselves, and the amount of how that'll take care of them for a while. I mean, you can only imagine when you're both working out of the same shop, and you're trying to deal with all this, and you can't make a living, and then that's what you're worried about. So, and talking about that, like I always say, do what's right when people aren't looking, and I do a lot of that. I don't talk about a lot of the things that we do, on the side, and even our races and stuff like that. And there's and even too, like we've had a lot of things happen in the last year with some of our racers, and I just want to clear the air on that too, especially with the sign and stuff like that. I have a principle of how I do these kind of things. And, like if you crash your car and stuff like that, like, unfortunately that's just part of what we do. So I don't really look at that aspect of raising money. And then, with the other cars being stolen and Matt and those guys getting in an accident and stuff like that, don't think for a second that I didn't think about those guys, but I had conversations with those people and made sure that, or friends of those people, to make sure, is insurance taking care of this? Are you being taken care of? Those kinds of things. And when I see that that's happening, then I realize, then I look at it as that we can take that and put that towards something else that's more dire for people. Okay. So I don't want anybody to think that we don't stand up for our people that are here, that we do, that our racers and stuff like that. Cause I have been in contact with them. I just feel like when they're already being taken care of, then those funds and those assets should go to somebody that, really needs it. So I just thought that, what I mean?
And those people would say the same thing.
Absolutely.
If you tried to give them money, they would say, dude, we're taken care of. Give that to someone that actually needs it.
Yep, 100%.
So it's all good.
Any other questions, folks?
Let me see what else I had starred in here. We can run through this stuff. We talked about the car count. 600 cars is kind of the goal. Yeah, I think that's probably it. We talked about the registration date. Let's maybe go over that one more time.
Sorry, what were we going over one more time?
The registration dates.
Oh, the registration dates will be January 10th and 11th. The 10th will be your Rocky Mountain Race Week veterans, and the 11th will be public. And then Race Week will be the Race Week 2.0 group. That will be what is that? I think it's the 17th and 18th, or the 18th.
It is
and 19th.
The 17th and 18th. Yes, January 17th and 18th.
Yeah, and then
same deal. That the veterans get the one day prior, and then open to everybody else on the next day.
Yeah. Yep. And then Red Hat Scotty Group A Group Rookie of the Year and B Group Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's 2 events. So we'll have two rookies. I'll do 2 young guns.
We'll have 2 Wicked Chicks. We'll
do 2 Perseverance Awards. It's 2 events just on the same day. All that crap's gonna roll through.
Yep.
This is a limited edition.
Yeah,
I can make as many as you want, though. Anybody that wants, if we wanted to do to do a pre-order of those for a charity thing, maybe we could do that.
Yeah, maybe. Let's
we'll think on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Mecha Week. I like that. I like the play there.
Hell yeah. Old Guy of the Week award is not Vince Rui ever. You're not that old. You're just short and angry.
You're right.
We need some Tina and David Pierce here in.
They're coming. It's okay.
Rocky
Don't
Mountain.
worry about it.
You know they're gonna. They got to.
Yeah,
No, come on. They hey,
well,
and you
they're
know what?
Friends at night.
Talk about cool people too. They actually helped out with the routes a couple of years ago when we were going to Tulsa, and we went up in the mountains that are up north and east of Tulsa. That most people have no idea is there. That was a really cool drive, and that was because of the Pierces who said, "Hey, we know some roads for you," since all of Oklahoma is home for them. So yeah,
Peer pressure and David, that they'll be there for sure. So I've been on them.
That's
nice.
awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, cool. Well, anything else? Sorry, real quick. I know that I talked to James Shower earlier with High Speed Media, who does a lot of the stuff with Matt and the Rocky Mountain stuff. He said they will be putting out like a full on, explanation of all the stuff, how everything's going to work, the dates, all that kind of stuff. It'll probably, he said earlier today, he said it'll probably go out tomorrow.
Perfect.
Yeah, tomorrow, the following day, he'll have it out. I also talked to him about it. So,
and we're going to have regular, podcasts leading up to this, just like always.
Yeah, like every year, and with this one will probably be a little extra too because there are a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah,
and the more you know before you show up to one of these, especially if this is going to be your first one, the better for everybody. So
well, and I mean, let's be honest. Like, I know I want this event to be just huge and it cannot be missed, and everybody talking about it across the media airwaves. Like that's, this is a huge deal for what is such a small automotive community. Like this is a big thing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed wholeheartedly. Yep.
And even if you don't get everything through these podcasts, like that's kind of the reason we're also having the drivers meeting on a non-pressure day, because I'm going to do a lot of stuff, and I'm going to do a lot of written stuff that we'll try to get put into the bags that go out. Like we're going to really lay it out a little bit better this year. I know that we're not always really good about that because everything happens so fast, but we'll have some time to actually go through all of the rules and just make sure that everybody understands what's going on. I need to do a little bit better job with the junior stuff. That will actually be laid out and for 100% be on paper so that you guys can see that. And some of that stuff, it's just because it was piloted. It's newer stuff. It hasn't really gotten into the actual rules and stuff. So we'll try to get all that updated before the first of the year this year. And like I said, the gas rules, we'll get that put out, get that taken care of. And then the tailgate the truck deal, I think all it's going to be is it's got to have a tailgate. That's it. And then you're going to dial your own. I'm not going to make any other rules for that.
And then Robert Voss, the only thing up for rule changes for you is no fender exit, big block Chevy, naturally aspirated cars at all, period.
Otherwise, you're totally totally fine.
Yeah. You're good to go. No.
Okay, here's the rule for the tailgate, though. It must have one.
Yes.
That means no pickup trucks without a tailgate on them. A, you didn't watch Mythbusters and you think it does something for you and it does not. So that just makes me want to smack you anyway. But B, if it's a tailgate class, then one must run a tailgate. I mean, come on.
And another rule that you'll see change, a couple things I am changing for this year, rule-wise. Obviously, we're going to change stuff with Gasser. I'm lifting the rule for stick shift class for a weight, and I'm also lifting the rule for unlimited for a weight. We can't always get to the scale. Some of them don't work, and I get busy and I don't have time to mess with it. And I really don't think anybody's running away with anything on a weight side of this right now. So if we have to address it later, we will. But as of right now, we're not doing it.
And I think that's going to be sweet for a bunch of the front-wheel drive Honda crowd. Those guys can get down really, really, really light and bring competitive cars to stick shift, just as long as they can keep them on the road or, alive on the road. So I think that's going to be really, really fun to watch and see what kind of comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah. No barn doors. I don't know.
I don't know if somebody brought a
Suburban.
Yeah. If you brought a Suburban, it's a truck and a wagon winning as far as I'm concerned, So yeah, if it has something other than a tailgate, i.e. barn doors,
like Tahoes, Tahoes count.
Matt says yes, then yes,
Right. And keep that in mind. And the dude at the end of the rope of everything is always going to be Matt. If he says yes, then yes. If he says no, then no. It doesn't matter what I said or what Chad said or what
Or
your
Mike.
uncle's third cousin's dogs
Or my
said. Matt has the final say, and you say yes sir, got it, check. Whatever, no big deal. So keep that in mind. Someone's asking about track prep. Yes, there'll be track prep.
Yeah,
You're welcome. You're
no,
welcome.
it will not be a radial prep.
It
like
won't
you're
be.
used
Yeah,
to in Georgia.
it won't be. Yeah, this isn't the one you go to set records. This is the one you go to say, I was at that one.
Yeah.
That hard one. I was at that one.
Ride to the track. Tune your ride to the track.
Yep.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Guys, this was fun.
It was.
I enjoyed it. I had a blast.
And I bought
Thank
a
you
car.
so much,
in the middle of
Nardsinator.
it.
I appreciate you setting it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
this was
Mike.
great. Yeah. Right now we are live across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 places. 10 places.
Wow.
So it's great tonight. I thank you to everybody that's commented. So I couldn't keep up for a while there. It was rowdy. It was rowdy to keep up with all the comments. So
Hell yeah.
really
perfect.
So pay attention to RockyMountainRaceweek.com. All those updates will be put on there. The official Rocky Mountain Race Week YouTube channel and Facebook page. All of the updates for all of that stuff. The insider page will have all that stuff as well, but those are the official channels. So lots and lots of cool updates coming from there. I pretty much just put cat pics up and make fun of people on mine. So yeah, legit, real life info coming out of the official channels. Yeah. That'll be coming out very, very soon.
Yeah.
And if you're a Wicked Chick and you want to join the Wicked Chick Facebook group, look up Wicked Chicks of Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week, and we will let you in.
Yeah,
totally.
Hey, Vin, retract my statement of that you get to run both with that comment like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start all back over. So in the beginning,
Vince, I mean,
you know how to watch it all over again, Vince. When Mike hits the button and kills the whole thing, it'll just start replaying and it'll be fine. You can go back.
Like right now in 3, 2, 1.